Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Art Block. My name is Derek, and I will be your host. If you're new to the show, this is episode 2. It's a weekly show where I just talk about anything going on in the world of art, culture, film. That's on my mind, and this week we're going to be talking about AI in film. Now, of course, AI has really exploded over the past few years. It used to be a thing that, was mainly theoretical, I feel like, and you didn't really know or care about AI unless you were very interested in science or technology. But now it's everywhere. Everyone is talking about it, regardless of what you do for a living or what your interest may be. It's a part of everybody's daily life. And I don't think any industry has been affected by AI in the same way that the film industry has. The SAG-AFTRA strike that happened about a year or two ago now, that was mainly in regards to seeking AI protections for the actors. And of course, studios don't want to pay actors, they don't want to pay writers, they want to do as little as they can. They can make as much money as they can, of course, as any corporation does. In fact, the Sony Pictures CEO said as much. He said, the biggest problem with making films today is the expense. Yes, of course, films are expensive, but yeah, the biggest part of making a film is paying the people who make it, who do the work, who do the creativity, so we can release a film that is something people want to see. Even going as far to say we are focused on AI and looking at ways to produce film and TV with AI primarily. So they are seeking to get human beings out of the process kind of entirely, so that they can minimize the cost, And that's the thing about AI in film, is that it is not a thing, it's not really a debate. Okay, the studios and the executives, they know that they want AI. They know that. They are simply waiting for permission or some kind of consent at a large public level to be able to do that. I was reading an article on the Hollywood Reporter, and it talked about how the issue of AI in Hollywood, it wasn't about technology or anything. It was a PR thing. It was this public image of AI being bad and AI, taking jobs away from people and things like that. The studios will be happy to make entirely AI generated films, so long as the public will let them. And I follow this account on Instagram that's always posting things about AI news and advancements and things like that. Lately it's been posting a lot about AI generated film and saying entirely AI movies are going to be the future. And I mean, look at some of the video that it can create. It is undeniably impressive. It's crazy that you can make something, or that AI can make something that looks essentially like a CGI blockbuster. Like, it looks like a movie, and the executives, I think, see this, and they want to make that their whole thing. They want to do away with the pesky writers and actors and people they have to pay, and they have complaints, and they demand their rights as employees or as contractors or whatever they are. They want to implement AI as soon as they can. And there have been quite a few films within the past year or so that have been caught using AI in some way. Now this year at the Oscars, there are a couple films in particular. Emilia Perez, you guys heard anything about that one? They used AI to mix the voice of the main actress with pop star, makes the music sound better. That film, of course, is a musical. And the other film is The Brutalist, which is a Holocaust drama, and they used some AI tool to pitch the accent or dialect of the main actors to correct it to make it sound more like that of a Hungarian, to get the Hungarian accent right. So both of those films used voice tools or AI to correct the voice. I came across a Reddit post saying that just about every nominated film this year has used AI in some way, and the person making the post claimed that they had worked on a film, one of these big award contender movies, and were asked to sign a waiver allowing the production to use AI. And so this is probably much more widespread than you or I know about. Let me go down the list real quick of the movies recently that have been known to use AI. There is a Vladimir Putin biopic called Putin that uses AI for the face. They put Putin's face on top of another actor that doesn't, I guess, look enough like Putin. It's kind of similar to me, the Social Network, the Army Hammers, the Winklevoss twins. That was done with CGI, with human beings sitting at a computer and doing the work instead of a simple AI tool. Late Night with the Devil, was kind of in some hot water because they used AI to create some images for like transition. Some images in the film were AI, and they defended this by saying, they generated it with AI, but then they added to it and they worked on it, and so it's technically not AI then. Similar thing happened with True Detective Night Country. That's that new season of True Detective from recently, where it had nothing to do with the previous seasons, did not have the same writer or anything. Also got in trouble for using AI for background posters. Marvel's series on Disney Plus, Secret Invasion, used AI generated opening credits. Megalopolis, the Francis Ford Coppola passion product, used fake critic quotes, AI generated quotes from critics in one of those trailers. Alien Romulus used AI to bring back an entirely dead actor, Ian Holm, who was in, of course, the first Alien movie. Brought him back. Apparently, they had consent and permission from his estate. And David Fincher recently did a 4K remaster of Seven, where he used AI to remaster the film. And he's a director who's always been, embracing of technology and on the forefront of that. But still, it's kind of disappointing to see, a director like that, just using AI to alter, or some would say enhance, a film that has been cherished now for like decades. Now, there are some tools like de-aging that have been around for quite some time, and we never really called them AI before. I never really called them AI, but for example, de-aging has been around since 2006. That's the earliest example I found of de-aging. It was in X-Men: The Last Stand. It was in the Adam Sandler film Click. It was also used in The Departed for at least one scene. Of course, that film won Best Picture at the Oscars that year. There's the Tom Hanks film Here that came out just last year, where he is de-aged using AI. Same thing in the recent Indiana Jones movie and The Flash and many, many others. So that's another AI instance where, it's something that's been around for a while, but now it's just, you're just kind of running the thing through AI without the creativity and without people actually working on the details, and I feel like there are too many people in the industry, right, who are embracing AI, who are just feeling so positive about it. Harmony Korine is a filmmaker that has inspired me and influenced me greatly. I discovered Spring Breakers when I was still when I was still in high school, and that's still one of my favorite films of all time. Uh, Harmony Korine is such a great artist in my opinion, and you know, to see him embrace AI in the way he has been kind of disappointing. It's been really disappointing, honestly, to see, uh, you know, someone like that and having their work being totally kind of AI powered in the way it has been recently. Paul Schrader recently has said things that are seem very positive on the end of AI generated scripts. You know, saying that, you know, he these AI generated, you know, stories are good. They're quality scripts. You know, I hate to see anybody in the industry kind of lay down like that and go, hey, it's good. It's just a tool. It's just a tool, right? But it isn't a tool. It is entirely different from any other technology. It's different from any other advancement or movement within the industry. And I think to view it as a tool is, first of all, completely wrong. And I think it is, in some ways, dangerous. You know, because this is something that we have not dealt with before, really, in any capacity. I know Nicolas Cage recently said something against AI, spoke out against it, and about protecting artists. But I've got to shout out right now Justine Bateman. She is somebody who is really on the front lines of this fight. She is speaking out on behalf of artists everywhere, and just really fighting for the integrity of art and filmmaking, against this push to bring AI to the forefront of the industry. I've seen her a lot on a bunch of different shows, being interviewed and just getting the message out there. And shout out to her. We need a lot more artists out there who are speaking in the way that she is, so unapologetically and so forcefully in support of the artist, you know. And that Reddit post I was talking about with the user who claims to be on the working on an Academy Award nominated film, they had the message that AI is too deep. We're too deep into this. AI is too strong to to really stop or truly fight. And I agree with that. I think that it is too strong, it is too big, and I don't think we can ever get to a point where people will agree just to not use it, you know. I think too many people have the idea that if you don't use it, you know, you are at a disadvantage because everybody else is going to use it, and you just have to have that as a tool for you in some way, and I hate that very much, but that is kind of the truth. But what we need to do as artists everywhere, and anybody who's out there who is watching this that is an artist in some way, I don't care if you're a filmmaker, you're a designer, you're a musician, you know, music has been hit pretty hard by AI too. You have those AI generated songs. They had those like Travis Scott, they had Drake and The Weeknd, songs that were very convincing, you know. Just please fight against AI as hard as you can and for as long as you can. We need to keep art human. You know, art is the fundamental expression of the human soul, and I don't think that is unreasonable to say that we need to keep that human. Art needs to be made by humans and only humans. And that's something that we need to not lose sight of and not become complacent about. We really don't. And beyond the artistic stuff, there's obviously massive privacy concerns. There's the AI generated porn. If you remember, I think a year ago or so, Taylor Swift had AI generated porn of her kind of flooding social media, and of course she is a billionaire and powerful, and she has a team of lawyers she can send out and everything like that, which that made that outpouring of AI generated images of her made it relatively brief, but the rest of people rest of the general public, that can happen to them as well. You could be targeted, you become, famous out of nowhere, and have that be concern for you. Scarlett Johansson has also talked heavily about deep fakes and things like that. And there are these apps out there now that I see advertised a lot where you can kiss your celebrity crush. You can just upload your photos and make a video look like you're kissing your favorite celebrity or anybody. You can just upload photos and just do that. That's scary, and that's obviously a massive concern in terms of privacy and all sorts of other things. And I think AI should be abolished or abandoned or outlawed or whatever. But of course, that's not realistic. I mentioned Justine Bateman just a minute ago. I have a quote from her right here. AI is a joke, and everyone who uses it is a thief and a fraud. I could not possibly agree with that statement anymore. And by the way, if you're not following Justine Bateman on social media, you really should. She is the thing she is saying and the thing she is fighting for, and the way that she is taking this struggle is amazing. And there is so much to talk about here. In the Cannes Film Festival last year, XYZ Films, they were showing AI translated trailers for international films. And I think that the reason why AI is so dangerous and it's so scary is because people kind of act like it's something we've dealt with before, when it really is not, kind of not in any way. And for the past few years, I've been really kind of obsessed with AI because I've been writing and developing a film. It's called I Will Remember You. And that will be my next feature as soon as I can get it funded, But I've been researching AI, listening to so many podcasts and interviews about AI and learning what it is and, how it came to be. And even AI programmers and AI engineers themselves, they can admit to you that they don't know why it works. They don't understand. They can't tell you why it works the way it does. And I have some quotes for you right here. Of course, I'm going to talk about Elon Musk. Who doesn't love Elon Musk, especially right now, But his quote was that AI is more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Now, I happen to agree with that. And the second one is AI is like summoning the demon. Now, it's from an interview from quite a few years back now, but just warning against creating AI, saying how it is like summoning the demon. He referenced it's like in a movie where somebody is calling a demon forward and thinking, oh, I can use them and I'm in control here, when you are really not. And those two things are very very wise to me. They're very prescient and they're very profound. And that makes me question why someone like Elon, if he believes that, is one of the leading figures in pushing AI forward, in funding AI and making it a bigger, more accessible, more visible thing. That makes me question, the intentions of him and a lot of other figures in that big tech kind of space. And the other quotes I want to mention here come from Tristan Harris. Now, he is probably my favorite person to listen to talk about AI. He is very intelligent and very insightful. And he says, first of all, our first contact with AI was social media, the algorithm and everything that social media has to offer, and we were told so many things about social media that would be this wonderful thing that brings us all together. In some capacity, that may be true. I've met some good friends on the internet. I've learned a lot from the internet and, gained a lot of information from social media, but there's been so many other things too about social media. It has, isolated everyone. It has led to all sorts of different mental health disorders. It's been politically divisive and pushed so much forward that I don't think anybody could really honestly look at social media and say that we are better as a people for it. And I think people talk about AI a lot, and they have this idea of all these great, wonderful things that AI will bring about. I hear like medical advancements will come through because of AI. And there may be some of that, but I personally am unconvinced. I have not heard a convincing argument as to how AI won't bring about the end of humanity. I haven't heard a convincing argument at all, and I think that's very easy to see how that would happen. And to kind of piggyback on the Elon quote about AI being more dangerous than nukes, Tristan Harris has said something. I believe he was on Real Time with Bill Maher, and he said AI works on AI to make AI better. Okay, a nuclear weapon doesn't make a nuclear weapon better. Somebody has to invent a better version of it. But these companies that use AI or create it in some way or advance it, they're pointing AI to work on itself and to make it stronger and better, really kind of every second of the day. And that is why you see so much advancement in AI. That's why if you look at an AI generated video from 2 years ago, it doesn't look half as good as something that you could produce today. And AI in film, yes, is a great danger to so many aspects. Of course, the creative side of everything, the jobs that will be lost if movies are just AI generated video, if that's all a movie is going to be. Yeah, so many jobs will be lost. The creative spark of humanity will be lost, but also AI threatens everything, literally everything. And that is just something that I can't, it's something I can't stop thinking about. And that's why I wanted to do this episode today. I wanted to talk to you about this and share just everything about how AI is it's changed the industry, and even if it hasn't come full effect yet, the things that are in the rear view mirror essentially are very scary and very concerning. And I want to preserve film. I want cinema and TV and music and all of these wonderful art forms to exist in the future. I want true artistic expression. I don't just want an AI generated thing that sounds good or looks good. And as artists out there, we have to fight for that. And anytime I see somebody speak out against AI, it gives me hope. Because AI gets so normalized, especially when it's so easy to create an AI generated image or a video or something. You see it everywhere across social media. So when I see somebody like Justine Bateman talking, that inspires me. That gives me hope. When I see Nicolas Cage talk about AI, call that out in his own industry from somebody who is as legendary as he is, that gives me hope. And I just want to ask anybody out there who's making a film right now, don't use AI. Don't do it. Not even for a background image, not even for a scene transition or for changing somebody's voice for some reason. Okay, don't use it at all. Reject it entirely. Please. I want to thank you for tuning in. This is just the second episode of the Art Block. We'll have a new one every week. I'm kind of set on releasing them Monday nights at 7 o'clock. I appreciate you watching, even though it is rough around the edges. The video quality could be better, I know, and I'm kind of committed to doing a single take, unedited, just being as real and honest as possible as I can. So just thank you for watching. Of course, If you like the videos, share them with your friends. Tell people about it. Like, subscribe, all of that. There's a whole lot more videos coming. I may have a movie review for you pretty soon as well. We'll have an Oscars recap coming out on Monday after the Oscars. This channel is just starting, just getting off the ground right now. So anybody who's watching, I sincerely appreciate you. I appreciate you listening to me talk about something I'm so passionate about. Just thank you all. Thank you. What time to be alive.